Hey, hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Oh, so we got a few people in here already. Hello, Zen. Outside in Aquatics, I've been watching a couple of your videos. Very cool. I'm enjoying some of those. Uh, Coro, how you doing, man? Looks like everybody else coming in. All right, we got a few people. Give everybody a couple more minutes here to pile in. I got a bunch of stuff to cover. I mean, I'll probably want to talk about everything I have to talk about. Been a pretty busy week, like normal. Lots of cool stuff going on, some fish things, and some pretty cool news. So this should be fun. Hey, DJ Guppyfish, welcome. So hot off the presses, this just got uploaded here just today. Um, this is a pretty cool deal. So if you don't know, I run a Facebook group called "What Kind of Snake Is This North Texas?" And by the way, tell me if my audio is coming through now. It should come through now that I've fixed this. So I can display, you know, uh, images and still be able to talk and be able to hear me. So let me know if you can hear me. Hopefully you can. But this, I run a Facebook group called "What Kind of Snake Is This North Texas?" Designed to help people identify snakes or get snake issues and helps with their problems and all kind of other things. Answer all kind of questions. Well, this popped up on the group today. This is mildly hollow. Last time it was, let me go to settings here. It pulled from the wrong audio source. It changed over because I have a mic, and yeah, see, I don't think it's pulling from that mic. Let's try something. Okay, I tap on this. Can you guys hear a tapping sound? Yeah, I guess you can. Maybe it is pulling from that. That mic should be better than that. Let's try this. Hang on here. I may have the mic facing the wrong direction. Oh yeah, I do. Hopefully it doesn't disconnect. Okay, let's see if that's any better. Oh, not that microphone. I want, yeah, that microphone. So, cool. You hear me typing. So, yeah, I'll figure this audio stuff out. I'm kind of new. Hopefully this, yeah, that's clear. Yeah, I had the, I had the mic turn around backward. Anyhow, so, hey, I'm glad this worked. Yeah, what I did last time is I forgot to add myself to the share screen. So, yeah, you couldn't hear anything. So, oh well. Anyhow, so here we go. This snake was found in the group, and somebody posted on there was asking for an identification for it. Well, it's a yellow belly racer, and it's got two heads. And from what I understand, it can tongue flick from both heads, and both heads kind of want to take over the body. And every once in a while, one wants to go one way, that sort of going that way, and then it switches back going the other. So it's kind of cool. Came in dehydrated and has uh, some stuck shed to it. So hopefully it'll eat okay and do well. Racers in general don't do that great in captivity, but he's definitely not going to do very good in the wild. So he's got his best chances where he's at. So Nature's Edge Wildlife Rescue is who has this snake right now. So they are taking care of it. Hopefully uh, they'll get it going and do good. So I've been out there last weekend. In fact, since I'm talking about it, hey, Fish Fan Link. Well, thanks for joining me. Hey, I like having the Fish Fan Link having my live session automatically, my thumbnail and my announcement for the live stream automatically gets put on the Fish Fam, the website. I really appreciate that. That helps out a lot. Anyhow, so I was helping out with them quite a bit this week, and this is not really part of the rescue. This is more of a pet they picked up, and it was turned back by. I guess it's sort of a rescue because the owner that had it, it said it was biting, so they took it back, and then they talked to him into taking it back again. Then they found out maybe it was just the husband had the problem or whatever, but they gave it back, and so now they end up getting it at a discounted price. Now the question is, does anybody want to guess what kind of animal this is? We have a couple of moments here to see if anybody wants to guess what this is. It's really cool. Here's a video, and this thing's really spastic. I don't have the video spastic, but it's also pretty friendly too. So let's turn the audio off. But yeah, this thing's pretty cool. Definitely not a coyote. Now, this guy's those ears are pretty cool though. This is not a native Texas animal whatsoever. Very cool little dude. The thing is, a skinny wolf. That would be cool. I have a little skinny wolf, but actually, we've got. I'll get some photos and some information about a wolf dog here coming up. But yeah, this little critter, man, it's kind of spastic. It'll sit there and it'll just kind of run around the room and bump into something or freak out, kind of like cat-like. It's very cat-like. It's like cat, dog, raccoon because it uses its hands, kind of feeling around with its fingers and stuff. So it's kind of like a cat, raccoon, dog. It's kind of Phoenix fox is a very good guess, but not correct. Actually, I thought it was a Phoenix fox too. Uh, so this thing, so this is actually a bat-eared fox. Very cool animals. I never really knew much about them until playing around with this dude. It's very cool. Okay, let me see if I can get out of. Oops, I don't want to do that. Into full screen. There we go. So, next little quiz. What do you think the feathers? What do you think belongs to these feathers? This is another rescue animal. This is was rescued because somebody had this bird, uh, probably illegally, and were feeding it, and it got acclimated to people and got imprinted, and it could not be released. It just wants to hang around people, and it's just a kind of a butthead in a way. But it actually helps. They're using it right now to help raise other of its own kind. The chicks that come in with injuries or just abandoned or whatever, they put that with this bird. This bird will actually feed the babies and raise them up, which is way cool. So it's actually doing a job at the rescue. Not an eagle. This is a turkey vulture. Yeah, named Bob, but it's spelled backward because they thought it was Today's guess. They gave the name Bob. Thought Bob was cool. They sent it away for DNA test, and then up at Peacock, uh, they ended up finding out that it was actually a female. So they just flipped the name around. So the capital B now is at the back. Let's say spell it backward. But this thing does something kind of cool. Let's see if we can. It's locking up a little bit. There we go. Uh, I'll replay it, but this thing's kind of weird. I couldn't get a better video because she quit preening herself. But if you look, about right in here, watch watch the feathers right in this area. Watch what it can do with those feathers independently of the other feathers. I thought this was way cool when I saw her doing this. Oh man, almost back far enough. Let's back up. Watch her. So right around the neck, see the actual neck feathers spin around. So they've got muscles in there that are able to adjust, spin those feathers independently. And she was turning those feathers like 90 degrees or more. It was way cool. It was like, man, it's neat. I never saw them do that before. So this is something kind of cool. And so Bob's a pretty cool chicken. Liquid Zoo, only fins. Hey, welcome. So turkey vultures are actually really cool, and they're not nearly as dirty as people think they are. Fascinating animals, and they're very smart. They've done some testing on those guys, and they rank way up there in the intelligence list for troubleshooting and problem solving type of things. They are really cool animals. So this is what I spent most of last weekend kind of building and helping out with. These are some enclosures for the rescue. And as you can see, they're basically fence panels, not fence panels, but fence, yeah, cyclone fence panels like for dog kennels. Is what they start out with. So that's the easy part, putting up the dog kennels, just bolting these all together. So that's the easy part. And then we put the shade cloth and stuff on there. There's a few other steps. So let me show you. So if you, so this is what close, about halfway done. So what we've done is put wire on top to keep everything in and everything out. So you don't want anything getting in here and causing problems. You certainly don't want the animals getting out. So these bars on top, I put some supports across here too, just to hold this up. So there's several animals they've got planning on putting in these enclosures already. So we had to hurry up and get these built so they can move into them. And here's Mario. It's Mario and Brandy run this reptile, the NEWR, which is Nature's Edge Wildlife and reptile rescue. But they run this, and this is him putting on some shade cloth on top. So they shade about half of it. So they want to be able to get sun. So you want the animals to be able to get sunlight if they want it. But if they want to get in the shade, they can get in the shade. And it takes a lot of time to build these, and it takes a lot of money too. These aren't cheap. Here's a picture of my wife kind of pulling some of the shade cloth through, getting this set up. It's taken a couple weekends, about 3 weekends of building these. It takes a lot of time. There's thousands of zip ties involved in holding these together. By the way, you can't use just any zip ties. You've got to use the good zip ties, the UV ones. Another picture of the enclosure. Now, this is a picture of the enclosure. Actually, we put a bunch of mulch down the bottom for kind of padding and to cover things. And if you saw in the other photo, there might be another photo right in here. See if I can. Nope, this is just more of the same. Yeah, you can see it here. There is some screen. There's some hardwire cloth. This is not really hardwire cloth. It's 1 inch by 2 inch. I forget what they call it. But it's down on the ground. This is to keep things from digging out or digging in. Works really well. But the mulch actually helps hold that down some too. There's a little better view. But there's a view on top. Man, the sunsets out there are awesome. And they even got they were able to purchase a. We should stay zoomed in. Purchase a mobile home. It's a double wide mobile home, and this is not their house to live in. This is going to be the rescues, intake, and where they're going to keep a lot of the animals that are being rehabbed. This takes a lot of money to run this thing. They were able to purchase this because Brandy's father passed away, and when he passed away, they had a big ranch. Well, they sold the ranch, took her part of the money, and invested it in some property because they'd lived in a very small lot. They were really kind of limited on what they could do for rescue because of the small area they lived in. Uh, and it was not a great house either. That's all they could afford at the time, but they put in all their money and resources into this rescue. So now they're able to move out here to about 10 acres, and they have their own home on the property. This is going to be just for animals, for intaking and for rehab. This is pretty cool. So they put their hard earned, well, not hard earned, but their money that they could have used for anything they wanted. They turned it into something to help out animals. So that's going to be the new location, which should be pretty cool. While we were out there helping them out, they get so many calls. The phone doesn't stop ringing. I think they probably took in 10 animals in just that one Saturday we were there. It's just an insane amount of animals that need help. There's a full 2 pallets worth of mulch, and they did not do everything we needed to do, so they had to buy another pallet of mulch. So it's 3 whole pallets of mulch just to cover the area. So we got at least one or two of the enclosures completely done. Well, they finished them up, and this is one of the new inhabitants. This is a wolf dog. This animal was found roaming around Dallas and taken in, and they realized it was a wolf dog, and it's illegal to have in the city it was found in. So they had to have a place for it. They're permitted. They live out in the country. It's all good. If you're having a great time, do not forget to show support and thumbs up. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I guess one of the things I do when I ask if anybody feels so inclined, if you would, drop a couple bucks their way. This is still not. They're basically running out of money pretty quick. They're spending everything they've got into getting this facility going. So they still need to care for animals, and they've got a lot of things going on. So if you would, if you can, just spare a few dollars and help them make better enclosures and get power. They still get power, water, and all this other stuff to the facilities to get everything finalized. So that would be awesome. Oh, and the wolf dog's name is Ziva, and Ricky is the bat-eared fox's name. Let's see. Let's go back in here. All right. What else we got going on here? Oh yeah. Did you guys happen to see if I post on Facebook? If you're on my Facebook, I posted some ideas for stickers. I want to see what you guys think. I think I've already ordered some of these. These are coming. Wait till this thing uploads. So I've already got some Australs. This is Aphiosemians Austral. What's the rest of the name? I forget all the other BW something. I can't remember. But This is, I think, is going to make a really cool sticker. It's on its way. What about this? I'm going to have to clean up some of these. Like I'm going to have to clean up, right around the top area of the snake there to make it a little cleaner, a little better. Oh yeah, that's cool. I like that better. Uh, so yeah, I think it's gonna make a pretty cool sticker. Yeah, it's all gone now. I don't understand why it disappeared now, but it'd be a pretty cool sticker. That's Buttons. Buttons is kind of a famous rattlesnake. She's a one of a kind. This is a Western Diamondback rattlesnake that has the gene for white-sided. Pretty cool. Bob. That's Bob. That's a nice close-up of Bob. I think that'd be a pretty cool sticker. Let's see what. Yeah, I thought so. This is actually a cropped out photo, obviously a cut out photo of her enclosure. So there's like a shelf that she can sit on here. She normally sits on, and this is like stuck to the shelf to make it look kind of cool. So that's why the cactus is there. There's good old Bob. That is a Gavianensis. So that might make a cool sticker too if you're into killifish. I'm gonna have to adjust it. That one's probably way too bright, overexposed, obviously up here. I'll play with these, make them look better before I ever make them a sticker. And that's a good old um, fun little Panchex gardener eye. Got a really cool sticker. And this is a Western Massasauga rattlesnake. Of course, if you know me, I'm in the in the snakes a lot more than I've been in the fish in the past. And there's a broad-banded copperhead. I think that would make an awesome sticker. I want one of those, so I'm definitely going to do that one. And there's just the water snake, good old diamondback water snake. And there's our picture of Buttons. I don't think I like this one. A big chunk missing out of it, and it's going to be hard to fix this big chunk and their stuff. But maybe I'll do some cropping or something and see if I can get rid of some of these dark patches around the face, around the eyes and stuff there. I don't like that. There's a close. There's a face-on picture of Buttons, and once again, I'll have to get rid of some of the stuff on the bottom, the chin, cut all that off, and leave the tongue hanging out. It's pretty cool. There's a fun little Panchex gardener eye, but that's a like an albino. That's a what do they call these? This is like an orange phase. It's pretty cool. This is a red-tailed hawk. This is one of my red-tailed hawks. This is a juvenile. I can tell it's a juvenile just by looking at this picture because of the eyes. Juvenile red-tailed hawks have those really yellow eyes, but adult red-tailed hawks, the eye turns brown, very dark brown as it matures. So the first year or two, it's still kind of a yellowish color, starts fading, and then eventually goes to completely dark brown. It'd be kind of neat to do the. I got several pictures of these. I didn't realize that like half the face on one of those is missing. It's kind of crazy. Leucistic, no, it's it may be talking about the the gardener eye. No, not leucistic because it's got what could be leucistic? I don't know. I forget what they call those. It's kind of a weird one. So yeah, the owl would be kind of cool. This was my favorite betta. This thing is way cool. It passed away a while ago, but it's just a cool looking fish. I haven't seen one quite like this. I've seen some similar a little bit, but not like this. This is way cool. Red-tailed hawks are great because they're so common. Yeah, and they are identified by the college, etc. They're everywhere. Yes, Kuro. That's typically true. And the sounds you hear for like the golden eagles, if you see a not golden, a bald eagle or any kind of bird, basically on westerns, and you hear that that call they make. That's not a bald eagle. That's a call of a red-tailed hawk. So it's kind of funny. There's a radio station here. They used to be called the Eagle. Probably still is called the Eagle, and they used to play the red-tailed hawk sound on the Eagle. It was just kind of funny, during the promos. So we used to call it, 971 the Hawk because that's all they made the sound. A bald eagle makes a really really wussy sound. It's just a little squeaky, kind of a weak wimpy sound. So nothing like they look. And normally, both red-tailed hawks are everywhere here. I mean, usually you get on the road, drive 20 miles and you can see 5 or 6 of them, no problem. This year, they seem to be gone. I have a hard time seeing even a couple of them. This whole year, probably the last couple months, I've only seen maybe 5 or 6 red-tailed hawks, which is pathetic. I can see that on just driving the next town over on a normal year. So I don't know what's going on. There was a report that there was a bunch of them in central Texas. So maybe they're just not in this area. They've moved down there. I'm hoping these cold fronts that come through, like this one just came through tonight. Well, actually, last night. Usually, those cold fronts will bring down those migratory birds like the red-tailed hawks. They'll start moving into the area. Bald eagles sound like dolphins. The sky, yes, Carl. That's a good. I like that one. I might use that one, Carl. The Jensen's or eagles are more wimpy, definitely wimpy. Awesome birds. In fact, we have some bald eagles here, and I posted one of those pictures of bald eagles on my Facebook group too. I usually don't see them. I see them fly over sometimes pretty high altitudes. Not a very good look at it, but this one was close, and it actually flew down and grabbed a fish on the pond. And on the other side of the pond, I'm sitting there eating it. So I got some decent photos with my cell phone. They're cell phone photos, but I got a really good cell phone, a camera on this S23, so it's pretty cool. Let's see. Oh man, Helgramite. This is a something of most people's fears. I love these things. These are the best bait that you can possibly use for fishing. Everything in the river eats these things. I mean, I can have a little piece of this, just like one of the big scales behind their head. I could put just that on there and come up with a catfish that's 20-inch catfish. So these are just magical almost. They're like leather though. They're really stiff and hard. Kind of weird. Venice Dobson fly larvae is what that is. This was uh, a ball python, or piebald ball pythons. At one time, these things were going for like 60 grand when they first found them and imported them in. But now they're being bred and they're down to a couple $100, $200, $300 you can buy them for now. This one's kind of cool with the smiley face. A lot of them have that smiley face. It's not super unique, but unfortunately, I made a mistake and I ended up killing this one. Man, I still feel bad about that. It sucked. I had a heating pad that went bad, so I was getting warm, so I moved it off, stuck another heating pad in there. And the heating pad I was using was the regular standard heating pad you put under your back or whatever. And it's got the temperature settings, you put it on low, shove it in there, kept the temperature just about right, either low or medium. I can't remember on that particular pad. Well, I had another different type of pad. It was just a real thin heating pad, heat strip, basically with with a connection on it. I totally forgot that one has no thermal regulation in it, and you have to hook it to a thermostat, have a little sensor in there, so when it gets to a certain temperature, turns off the power to it so it doesn't overheat. I forgot that thing did that, and I ended up overheating it. Ah, man, it was terrible. Uh, fly larvae? No, these are Dobson fly larvae. Stoneflies look a lot smaller than these. The a full grown Hillgramite would be 4 inches long. I've seen them, at least 3 inches long, and they're just they're crazy. Dobson fly, yeah. So that would make a cool sticker, I think, though. What we got here? Oh man, that's a cottonmouth head down shot I took. I don't think that'd make a very good sticker. I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't think that'd work very good. This one might. The whole body shot. That'd be kind of a cool little sticker. And this is a Harris's hawk. And if you haven't heard, the ornithology department, man, they um, they're going to change the names of common names of all birds that are named after people. So this bird is called the Harris's hawk, and it's not going to change the name of it. I have no idea what they're going to change it to, but this is Mario's. Actually, Mario was with the people with the rescue. He's a falconer too, and so am I. And he's the one who taught me. So I'm his apprentice. He's my sponsor, and if you look, this is his bird. You can see on the bottom left hand corner, you can see a little bit of the one of the jesses sticking out. And if you look real close, right down the middle of the back, he's got a transmitter, like a backpack on it they carry, and then it's got the little transmitter coming off it. But you never know; it'll look hard. So it's kind of was weird. They're going to change the names of that. So you come in. Hey, Logan, how you doing, man? Hey, it's good to see you in here. It's pretty cool. I didn't expect you to be on. That's pretty awesome. Uh, Jeff Kane, how you doing, man? Shady Grady, how you doing? Let's see here. Oh, Jen Ginger. Is that so? When they become problematic in the future, have they don't have to change names. Yeah, it's actually because it's kind of a long story, but they're worried about people that some of these birds are named after, or racist, or even had uh, slaves and things like that. Back in the 1800s stuff. So they decided to punish everybody and take the names that these birds are named after. There were some pretty awesome people that worked really hard, and they would get recognized by naming a bird after them. It's kind of a prestigious thing. And then they decided to just get rid of all that. So I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me. Yeah, bull snake. This would be cool. I think that might be a really cool. I don't know. There's a deal with this one. If you look at the nose, right in that first scale, there's some kind of a. I don't know. Yeah, I can't even see it. There's a little thing, little arrows right on top of it. Let me see if I can zoom in and move it around. Yeah. Yeah, if I do. Oh shoot! You gotta be kidding me. Oh, there you go. It's gone now. Yeah, there's a little bit of. Almost looks like a little bit of something. I don't know what's going on with that rostral. They call it the rostral scales, that nose scale. This is a Sunalone milk snake. That could be good, but I don't know. I'm not sure that looked good. Let's look at the. Huh, nothing. Yeah, just your name came up through. That's funny. I don't know how you did that. Is this streamer on multiple platforms? Yeah, it's actually on Facebook too. That's the only other place I put it. Put it on Facebook and put it on YouTube. But Zen Ginger, hey, it looks like it didn't shed all the way there. Nah, it's not shed. It looks more like maybe a little bit of an not infection, but just something stuck in the scales. Let's see if I can take a better look. Yeah, see, it's not shed. It's not a shed skin. It's some kind of something weird going on with that. And that was taken a long time ago, so I don't know if I may not even noticed it at the time. It's such a minor thing. Let's see. Should have Mike was lucky. I didn't buy 10 instead of 5 fish. I'm glad we got both. We both got them. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. You're talking to us. Yeah, I started at 9:30. I started right at 9:30. Skitty. Uh, Shady. Sorry, subject from the last live stream. Okay, no problem. Let's see what we got here. Hey, oh man, broadband of copperhead. Now, I like broadband of copperheads. I think this is going to be a kind of a neat picture. I mean, a neat, what do you call it, sticker. I did another one just of a head of this animal. Now is different animal. Just a head. I got this really cool picture, and so I got a really cool. This might be really cool. Yeah, look at that. That would be a cool sticker. That came out really good. It's just awesome with these new Galaxy phone. I can now just go through any of my albums or any picture on my phone, stick my finger on the subject that I want to cut, and move it, and it moves over automatically. It is the coolest thing. It just cuts it right out, almost does it perfectly. Like this guy's toes aren't perfect in the front, but pretty close. I could fix that. And if I can even go back to the original image really easy and quickly. Oh, by the way, did you happen to see my new mascot? It was one of the worst taxidermy I'd ever seen. So I went ahead and it was on Facebook Marketplace. I bought this thing years ago, and I was like, "Oh, that is so bad. I gotta have it." See what else we got. Oh, there's a gray tree frog. They're one of my favorite frogs. If you ever heard there's two different frogs that sound similar: the gray tree frog and the Cope's gray tree frog. So the gray tree frog is more like a really nice melody. It's throughout the eastern United States, all the way up through Ohio and Pennsylvania, all in New York, all the way down to the eastern side. It's like almost half the United States. Then there's a corkscrew tree frog, which is it's the same sound, but it's faster and higher. So it's so I just love the sound of those frogs, and we have both of those in this area. And the cool thing is they look identical almost. You really can't tell them apart by looking at them. If you get two males that are calling or a male that's calling, I could tell the difference on what species it is by the call. Because one will be, and the temperature affects how fast and the pitch of that call. So if it's really fast and it's nice and cool out, then I know it's got to be a Cope's gray tree frog. Because the warmer it is, the faster the call is and the higher the pitch goes. So if it's really warm out and I hear that kind of a in between sounds, almost Copes, it's almost gray. It's probably going to be a gray tree frog because it's really hot. It's going to speed up their call a little bit. So it's kind of neat. And the gray tree frog has double the amount of chromosomes that the Cope's gray tree frog has. So if you were looking at DNA or look at the chromosomes, you can tell the difference pretty easily. So that's just kind of a neat thing. Let's see if anybody else joined. Yeah. It says 23 hours on YouTube. Oh no! Wonder if I got the wrong date. Oh well, that's probably why there's not a whole lot of people on. That's my fault. I have to check. I bet I screwed it up somehow. But oh well. Let's see what's going on. I'll suck if it did. Jeff, we've had something similar on this or the same in northern Wisconsin. It's not very common, but I've seen it a few years. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Crow crickets are the same way, right? Exactly. They're exactly the same. You can tell temperatures based on their chirps. On the snowy, I think it's called the snowy cricket. There's one cricket species that you can actually gauge the temperature in Fahrenheit by using a formula and counting the number of calls in a given amount of time. And boy, it's been a long time since I've thought about that, so I don't know the formula or the number of, or the time frame you have to look at. But if you look it up, I'm sure it's really easy to find, and it works really well. It comes down to a very accurate way to measure temperature. Ginger, those kind of look like milk frogs. Yes, they do. Skipper is currently streaming also. Yeah, this is about the only time I can go. So I know there's other people streaming sometimes. Nothing I can do about it. I just go when I can go. I'm still new at this. I'm still trying to learn. So this is a good time to do it when no one's really watching too much. I can screw up all I want. Frogs, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Uh, what's your YouTube channel name? Okay, I've got a couple of YouTube channels. Well, this one, you might be on Facebook. I bet you're watching. Yeah, you are. It's just not. I see it now. I can tell. You're watching me on Facebook. But I have this channel that I'm on YouTube is Pile Aquatics. That's the channel name. Also have a pretty cool channel that's a bigger channel, but I don't do much with it recently, and that is Texas Snake ID. I've got a lot of videos on there about snakes and things like that. The gray tree frogs, I see a few a year. They can be extremely plentiful in some areas. I mean, it's deafening. Their calls can be. Skitty, I have lots of tree frogs. Oh man, that's cool. I love tree frogs. I made a mistake once. I decided I wanted some tree frogs. Keep them in the house because I just love them. They're absolutely beautiful. And these guys can go from the gray color like you're seeing here to a green, almost a solid green, almost no pattern on them. Some of them have a little bit of pattern and they're really dark green, and then they can grow up to a brown color. Then they get to the gray. Absolutely cool. And it depends on what their surface they're on, their mood, and all that kind of good stuff. Well, uh, I took so I built this nice terrarium. It was nice. It was a vivarium when I got done with it. But it was a 40-gallon breeder. I had plants growing in the thing, water areas, land. It looked awesome. It was wonderful. So I went out and collected some frogs, found a bunch of frogs, brought them home, stuck them in the tank. Man, I was doing it all, taking some photos. Man, I thought this was the greatest thing ever. Well, nighttime rolled around. It was in my bedroom, too. I put this in our bedroom. This was not too long after I got married. We're laying there, and quickly became apparent that this is not going to work. Because without really thinking this through, I went out and collected frogs that I could find because they were calling. Those were all males. So I had 5 or 6 male tree frogs in my bedroom calling all at one time. Yeah, we had to go pick the tank up, put it in the farthest room away from the house, away from the bedroom as we could, close the door, just to even come. Man, after a while, fall asleep because it was so loud. So those guys got returned pretty quick. So if you're going to do it, uh, man, just be careful what you're doing. They are really pretty green. When they turn that green color, it is a really nice shade of green, and it's the modeling on them. Man, they're really cool when they do that. Kuro, they are very loud. Yeah, it was deafening. Mexicali Fishkeeper, hello. How are you tonight? And we got George RB3. Hello. Let's see what else is going on here. DJ Guppy, my tanks were outside, getting more frogs, and the large anole lizards hang around the tank at night. Mosquitoes are bad this year. Yeah, that's in fact, this is pretty cool. That's called a spotless, Australian spotless. But I got a quick little story too. The tank right behind me, there was a 55-gallon aquarium behind me, and on top I had like part of that's down here. You can kind of see it right there, that piece looking over there. Um, that you know, see if I can make it look. Yeah, you can see that right back there. Anyhow, so that was on top, and it was kind of water going through that, and a bunch of lava rocks and plants growing out of it. It was really cool. But I decided I need to get rid of that because I need more room for fry grow outs and some tanks. So I took that down, but I needed some place to put it. So I had been out to my brother's house not long ago, and we were talking about maybe getting him an aquarium, put it out on the back porch because he's got a son that's I think he's 11, maybe 12 now, but he's got some autism, and so he's got some issues. And I thought this would be really cool to bring out to him and stick it on the back porch. I've got a couple out on the back porch, and he can all summer long that he can hang out and he can put some fish that he catches at the little pond he has on the property, or go get some feeder minnows, from a bait shop. Whatever, put them in there and enjoy them. Throw some plants from the pond in there, some aquatic plants. Man, it'd be cool. Uh, so I took that out and was going to take it out to him to drop it off yet last night. Well, when I get there, he's sitting outside in a chair waiting for me to get there, man. It was just way cool. So as soon as I pull up, man, he starts, oh man, he's telling me all about these little toads he's keeping and the frogs he's keeping in his house and the tanks, and then he's also going, oh man, check this out. I got this lizard. I caught this green lizard. Ended up being a green anole. But he goes, oh, I caught it over here. I had to chase it around this, and I had to go over here. Oh man, he was just so happy. So we started setting that tank up, got it in position. I brought some. I left a little bit of substrate, the original substrate that I was using on the bottom of it. But when I was moving it around, I messed it all up, and I got some of the dirt on top. And if if you know anything about those kind of aquariums, that if you put water in there with all that soil on top, the topsoil, that rich topsoil, you're just going to make an algae farm. It's just going to be a mess. So I got it all out, all but just a little bit in the bottom, and there's still some of the egg crate. I left the egg crate in there, uh, and so I put the egg crate left the egg crate in the bottom, and I had a bucket of sand. I bought about a 7 or 8 gallon container for chlorine or whatever. I brought one of those out there, and we shoveled it, put it all in the bottom. I showed him how to scape up the back a little bit to make it look cooler, and he immediately runs over, gets a garden hose, man. He's firing it up, trying to fill it up. So I really think that he's going to enjoy that the tank. It's kind of getting cool. It won't freeze for probably a little while yet. It'll probably be a month or two. So they're trying to debate if they want to put water in it and then have to drain it pretty quickly, or maybe move it inside through the winter, or just wait till next summer, whenever after it's done freezing next spring, I guess, and then start over and let him go down to the little pond and catch himself some little sunfish or something like that, and stock it. I think he'll have a great time. Let's see what's going on. So let's look at a couple of pictures real quick of this, and we'll jump out. Yeah, that's just not. I don't like that one. That's kind of cool. Bitidiatum, I think is what that one is. Yeah, that's ugly. That could be kind of cool. That's a garter snake, a checker garter. Now these are like all my photos I've taken, and just cut them out real quick. This is a eastern hognose. That could be really cool. There's a mottled rock rattlesnake. I used to own that snake. I had all the venomous snake species in Texas at one time. I backed down my collection a little bit, so I don't have quite as many snakes as I used to have. And that's a Western Massasauga. I still have that animal. And albino Western Diamondback rattlesnake. That could be kind of neat. All right. Gin Ginger. How I know they're invasive here, but I debated catching a house gecko last year, but I didn't know if they would make a good pet. They actually aren't too bad. The house geckos are basically a Mediterranean gecko, usually, and they get good size. A big one will, uh, and they're easy to keep. You use small crickets, you can feed them, and they're hardy. So put them in a good sized container, 5 gallon aquarium, plenty big enough for one of those little geckos. Set someplace up where they can climb and hide up on the glass. So have a background, and then put something over top, like maybe a piece of half cork bark, where it's curved, and then stick it on the side, and put some. You can use peat moss, or even better, use a cocoa husk, and keep it slightly moist, not wet, but just maybe a corner of it a little bit damp. A water bowl in there, mist it every once in a while for them to get the water off, the kind of the replicating dew is what they'll lick that off and drink that. So they're easy to keep. Let's see here. And there's another one. Let's this would be funny. I think this would be hilarious. That's a shadow. I have to kind of knock that out. But if I clean this up, that'd be funny for a sticker. All right, let's get back out of here. All right, did the NEWR. Okay, let's just stick to here. I don't have these in any particular order, but you know how they say you build it and they will come. Well, this is in my backyard. I built these are the 275-gallon totes. Oops, I'm not sharing my screen. Hang on. Good thing I caught that fairly quickly. So there we go. So yeah, I made a 275-gallon aquarium. I'm not aquarium, but these are totes that look like milk crates, like giant milk crate materials, real thick. You just cut the tops off of those, and they have the metal barring around it to hold everything in place. And I just fill those up, and I have a couple of them back there in a row on the back fence. And I have some native fish in there, mostly gambusia. I mean, the mosquito fish is kind of what I have mostly in there. But all of a sudden, I'm good ways from any permanent water, probably a quarter mile, probably half-mile straight shot to the lake. There might be some ponds or something around here, but I'm kind of on top of a hill. And these, I have 3 or 4 leopard frogs, and this is a plains leopard frog. If you look at the fold that goes down the side, the big line along their back and their side, where the side and their back meet, that goes down. So I don't think you can see my mouse. Oh yeah, there you go. Now you can see it. This line that comes down right in here. You see how it's inset, and on the real frogs, there's a gap here, and that little gap, along with how far this white bar goes across the face, that's an indication of a plains leopard frog. And their calls too. They do call. These are all males back there. I don't see any females. A bunch of males back there. It's kind of cool. And they're just hanging out with my fish ponds and eating all the bugs and stuff. Uh, I let trumpet vine. My neighbor's got some trumpet vine that kind of invaded my side, but man, I let that go over top and have sunflowers. I'll let sunflowers grow around for shade, and all those plants, man, they really pull in a lot of insects. They provide shade, and now they're starting to fall. They're all the sunflowers all died back, so now it's getting sun. So when it's cooler out, it helps warm them up. It works really well for maintaining tanks like this. So I just let the sunflowers get. Man, the sunflowers got like 12, 13 feet tall at least, and I had those trumpet vines going all along the sides of it and kind of encroaching over the top from the back. It made it just a really, really cool environment. This is a Apocalus dei. Growing these out. You can tell this one is getting there. It's definitely growing. And I don't know if I've shown this before or not, but this is basically how I do when I put my fish in. I mean my eggs in. So this is the methanol blue. A couple drops in a. I think it's like 3 drops in a gallon container, and I fill these up about halfway. These are 16-ounce containers. I like these screw on tops more so than the ones that have like the push on tops, because I can unscrew this without disturbing everything. This is kind of to pry the top off and everything. It's not really that big a deal. It's just, to me, it's annoying. So I put my eggs in here, and I usually do no more than 30 eggs in a container, and or 1 week, 5 days. I think I've scaled down to 5 days now. So every 5 days, I'll stop and get a new container. And on top, you can see a label. And on the label, I have a code system. So I put a code for what the fish is, and then I put the date on top that the first eggs were put in there. So it could be up to 5 days after that worth of eggs. And then I just, the water's getting warm because my the fan from my laptop was blowing right on my water. I have to keep, man, that kind of sucks. Anyhow, so yeah, and then about most of the fish I have 2 weeks, I have fry. And I pull the fry out and I put them in my fry grow out system. There's another day I can't remember the name of these. It's going to be Aphyosemians, and it starts with a C. Oh man, I can't remember. Too many of them, but anyhow, it's all labeled. They're dropping eggs pretty cool. It's a pretty neat looking fish. These vary a lot in the colors and the way the patterns are. Mine are just kind of that red down the side, which makes them kind of neat. And I wish Tommy was on here from Silver Creek Aquatics. He gave me a lot of these plants. So if you look on the back, he gave me a lot of these Valsinaria. So he gave me all the ones most of the ones across the back. I guess not even most. This is really growing a lot. And on the sides over here, they start growing. Valsinaria is cool. It's easy to grow, but you got to let it sit for about a month. Usually, it takes about a month for it to start doing anything. So very cool. And then he gave me some really big. There's big Java, not Java, crypt back here in the back. You barely see it. It all melted away. It was a big, huge, beautiful crypt, but it's growing back and it should come back in with style. But if you look in here, what I have, you can see the neon tetras, and then you can see this is which one is that? Yeah, that is a Fundal Panchex Gardener Eye. And then you've got the Galaxy Res. Oh, no, no, that's not. What are these? Wow, I'm getting tired. Skip those for a second. Brilliant reservoirs. That's what it was. I got one mosquito fish, and I've been told these mosquito fish are evil. They beat everything up, and never put one of those in there. I've done that a lot, never a problem. Let's look over here. There's one CPD. Then I've got an orange Australian killifish. There's a darter, one of the local slough darters from one of the lakes around here. What else we got hidden? There's another darter in there somewhere hidden. And then I've got a couple of Achilles in the back that are kind of hiding. But this is kind of a display tank, and what I'm trying to do is learn what fish go with what, especially when it comes to killifish. I've heard lots of different stories, but I want to know for sure what actually works. So when I go to a show and somebody goes, "Hey, will this fish go with this fish?" I can say, "Yeah, I've tried that. This works or it doesn't work." I think I've. Oh yeah, it's just kind of a quick video. Nothing really spectacular. Man, if Rico was on here too, I found the sumac, and he was talking about making sumac aid. Basically, you get the little berries that on top here. When these are old, they're all nasty. I want to use those, but before they go bad, you take those off and you basically steep them in water overnight, and you can use that kind of as a tea. It's supposed to taste pretty good. I wanted to try it, but I didn't find it until too late. Killifish. Yeah, I've got a. That is oh man, I can't remember the name of it. Anyhow, oh well. I am getting tired. That's why I can't. I'm going to jump ahead here. Ah, here we go. I am going to be in Houston. Any guys? Anybody from Houston on here? I'm going to be in Houston on the 9th and 10th at that NRG Center. They're having the Aquarium Nation Expo. I'm going to have a booth there, a 10 by 10 booth. I'm selling some of my killifish and a bunch of other stuff, and some of my stuff that my wife makes. And while I was working out, negotiations here, I asked if I could They had some weird rules about what you could and could not display. You can't display, you can't sell anything at the booth that's not directly fish related. And there's some other little things. So I asked them, hey, can I have a small area for the American Killifish Association and the Texas Area Killifish Association have some of their material out promoting those groups? And they said, oh, absolutely. But I can do better than that. I can I could donate a whole booth or more, whatever you need for that for those guys. They're nonprofits and they're part of the deal. It's like I was like, okay, so I've been setting that up, and it looks like they'll have a booth, and I get a couple of volunteers now. They're going to be running that booth. The cool thing about the AKA is if you join the AKA, you get a free pair of killifish. So they're planning on sending me some killifish to take down there, and then that way I can get them on display. I'm get them on at the show. So if anybody buys, wants to join right there at the show, you can see what kind of killies we have and take a pair home. I'll probably have, well, we'll have some of my own killifish available too. If somebody wants a pair of what I have, I can donate a pair to those people too. So it's going to be really cool. I thought it was pretty cool of them just to donate a booth for that. Hey, I'm from Houston. I had shared that. Uh, I just shared that the other day. Yeah, I remember you saying you were from Houston. You plan on stopping by the show? Is it something you might want to do? I think that would be way cool to meet you. And the the AKA has worked out a deal. Let me see. This is not really what I see. Is there anything I can do better to make this work better? No, I don't think I can. Let's get rid of that, maybe. Okay, that makes it a little better. So, the American Killifish Association has a deal going that they can get this book. You have to go to the website. So you have to do a search for Freshwater Fishes of Cameroon. It's a brand new book out. It's actually being printed right now. It's almost home from the printer. So we got about a week, probably roughly a week, to get your orders in for this book. Uh, it's kind of expensive to ship these books over. So what the AKA is doing is getting a bunch of orders together, and they can get a discounted price if they order a bunch together. So they will ship them. Uh, Once you get pre-ordered, enough people committed, they'll take those orders and ship them over, and it basically covers the price of shipping from overseas because they're being published overseas. Then when you get here, you can get the book for I believe it's $85 plus media shipping. If you know how media shipping works, media shipping is much cheaper than regular shipping. So it's probably going to be $5-6 or so to have it shipped. So you're probably around $90 out for the book, but it's going to be out of print probably pretty quick. I think they've already sold. I think the last time I counted was like 27 orders so far for it. So this is going to be kind of a cool book to have. Let's see here. What's going on in the chat? Um, Valinsky. I'm terrible at pronouncing names, so sorry. I'm sure I butchered that. Zen Ginger. I want to go so bad, but we're going to see my grandfather in Monroeville, and it's over an hour away. Well, bummer. It's a 2-day show, so if you've got depends how long you're going to be gone. So you got 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. I'll definitely be there both days. So if you can, stop by. Hey, Logan, I hope that you find a snake that you haven't seen discovered yet and they name it after you. Oh, man, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. That's pretty cool. That would be kind of neat to have a snake named after me. Or any animal named after me would be kind of fun. But I think it's a pretty long shot, but it'd be cool. Oh, that was just the thumbnail. Yeah, my thumbnail sucked, but hey. Oh, this is something cool. All right. It's always a good day to me whenever one of my kids can teach me something. So my youngest daughter, Emily, she sends me messages. Hey, Dad, you know that Jupiter, you can see Jupiter right now, real bright, and if you use the binoculars or a good pair of binoculars, you can actually see like 4 of the moons of Jupiter. And I was like, what? She's like, I walk outside, I see the big bright star-looking thing. It's okay. That's definitely a planet. I tried to find my binoculars. I don't know where they went. They should be in my car behind my seat because I use them for birding whenever I go out looking at different hawks. If I'm going to go trapping or something like that for falconry, I have a pair sitting there, but I don't know where they went. So what I did is I just said, oh, my phone's got a really, really good camera on it. So I threw my phone up there, and it's an S23 Ultra. Pulled my phone up there, stabilized it, got it all set up, zoomed in 100x, took a picture, and I was like, holy cow, look at that. You can see two of Jupiter's moons right there with the phone. I mean, come on, who thought that? It's crazy. I don't know if it's still, if you can still see, if Jupiter's still out like that, you can still see the moons or not. But I think there was like three moons over here with two binoculars and like one up there, if I remember right. But that's not a bad photo with a pair with just a cell phone. Man, they came a long ways with cell phones. Used to be potatoes for cameras. How much? How much are the books and how much is it to join the AKA? Okay, the books are I think $85 plus $5 shipping ish. Don't 100% quote me. Send me if you're interested in the book. Please send me an email, and my email address is pileaquatics@gmail.com. Send me an email. Say, hey, I'm interested in the book. I will get you the information, get you in touch with how to order the book. Sarah Michelle is taking care of that with the AKA. To join the AKA, it's $35 for a individual for a year. And I don't know all the other. You can do 5 years. You can do families, and there's other plans. But if you just look up the American Killifish Association and Google, go there. Don't look up AKA because that there's other things that are named AKA, and it's hard to find it. So if you just do American Killifish Association, go to their website, and they'll have the information on there how to join and all that stuff. If you join, they'll even mail you killifish, but you usually have to pay for the shipping on it. So if you go to one of their events and you join, they usually have fish right there to give you. That's the difference. Yeah, it is cool, Sketty. Ginger, yes. I love my Nokia potato, though. I played Snake on mine. Yep. Yeah. If you're older, you remember the first cell phones that came out, man, the candy bar types of phones. Those things, man, they didn't do a whole lot. You play Snake on them, things like that. You couldn't even go to any websites. But the battery like lasts for a week without charging it. It was just an awesome battery life. Of course, you're not doing a whole lot with it, so it doesn't really matter. Uh, let's get off of that. Okay. Shady Grady, my son and I saw that tonight with our telescope. Oh man, a telescope would be nice to see it. And we could see four moons. Nice. Yeah, I like to be able to do that. That'd be kind of fun. They do those star parties every once in a while. Boy, it would be nice if they had a star party like right now. We could go out there and man, take a look at some good telescopes. Those guys, they bring out some amazing telescopes where you can see Saturn and see the rings clear as day. Man, there's so much stuff that they can do. It's just absolutely awesome. Let's see what else was going on. Let me take a look. I take notes usually. Let's see. Yeah, then the Waco, it's the Waco. I'm not Waco, Wisconsin area Killifish Association had their big show and auction last weekend. I sent fish up there. They didn't make it. I don't want to talk about that anymore. That sucks. But I was thinking about putting in some proxy bidding. Proxy bidding is basically you had the list of fish that were going to be on the auction. You could go in there and put a bid on it. You can bid on those fish, and then you just a picture representing those type of fish, and it's pretty cool. So then they'll mail you the fish. What you got to do ahead of time though is basically you got to send money to cover the shipping, and if you won all the auctions you want to win because they don't. I mean, it makes sense. I'll bet in the past they've had a lot of people make all these bids and win these auctions, and then no pay. They don't send any money, and then they're out of money. So they make you pay up front. If there's money left over, if you didn't win your auctions, or the shipping isn't quite the $50 that you have to put up for shipping, they'll reimburse that to you either by a check if you send a check in, or if it did a PayPal, they would just PayPal you back to you. So that was kind of cool. But I don't know. After losing a bunch of fish in the mail, I just didn't feel like ordering a bunch of things and It's like, man, I could see me. There's kind of some interesting ways you can do the proxy bidding. At the end of the auction, they usually have some fish that are common fish that don't really go for very much. So you could put your bid in to say, if I still have money left over, put $5 a pair on any of the fundamental pan checks to come up, and so they'll do that for you. So I could see me winning like a $5 pair of fish that's really common, ended up spending $40 on overnight shipping. It just wouldn't make sense. So I didn't do it. I'm not sure if I regret it or not, but man, uh, they could have had some cool fish in that auction. There's some pretty cool stuff. And if you look up let me see, yeah, JT Fish on YouTube, his YouTube channel, he has a really cool video. It's like an hour long, but it's from that uh, show. And he went around and he did some really good videos. He's got like 4K video of fish, and it has a label on the screen of what type of fish it is. So if you want to see some killifish, some of the stuff's pretty rare up there. They really corner the market on the really cool killies. Go through and watch that. You'll see some spectacular fish. It's a long video, of course you can fast forward, come back to it later if you need to, but I would recommend taking a look at that. Shady Greedy, they have those at the Museum of Science in Boston every Friday night. Oh man, yeah, that'd be cool. That would be very cool. So that was kind of fun. Oh, and somebody asked, what was the top pair of fish? What did they go for? And it was $200 was the maximum amount somebody spent on a pair of fish. But those must be pretty rare because that's pretty unusual for bids to go really high like that. They will on rare fish, but normally you can get some of the more common stuff. Like if you're wanting to start out, this would be an amazing way to start. Look up, go to one of the killifish conventions they have in your area when they're doing the shows and auctions. Go to an auction. We'll go to the show first. Look at some of the fish, find stuff cool. Find some guys standing around. A lot of these guys love to talk killifish. Find one of the older guys standing around. Most of these guys are older. Talk to some of the older guys and find out what are good fish to starter fish. What would be good for me to start keeping these and learning how to take care of them until I have time to do a lot of research. And they'll point you in the right direction. They'll say, hey, you want fundamental pan checks, gardener eyes are awesome. Fundamental pan checks, Australs are really cool. And they'll point you in the right direction of some of the stuff. They'll say, hey, you might want to steer away from this species or that species. And they'll probably ask you information like what's your water type? Uh, do you have access to RO water? Some of the stuff does need soft water. Most of them can be kept in hard water, but if you're trying to breed them, you got to get them a little softer water. Typically, I've broken that rule a lot and just bred them in hard water, and it seems to work fine. I might have a little better success and luck if I did it in rainwater or some kind of RO mineralized water, but uh, that's a really cool um, way to do it. What's the channel name? That's that TJ. Well, let's just do this. I don't know if I can do pull up YouTube. I was just watching some of his videos, not on this computer, so it won't be. Let's go find it. Oh, there's the live stream we're on right now. Um, JT Fish. It's fish, not fishing. Let's pull it up, see if we can find it. You guys aren't watching what I'm watching here. Let me do this. Make it a little more interesting. Wait. Is it TJ or is it? It's JT Fish. Sorry. I know that's the name of his channel. I swear. Oh, there it is. Okay. There's the video. So there's his channel right there. JT Fish. Let's see if we can use full screen. So let's jump ahead. Just kind of look at some. Volume. We don't need the volume. So yeah, here you go. Jump back over here. So there you go. That's a kind of a long video, but man, Some of these fish like that is awesome. I had some of those, and I didn't realize that they are a cold water fish. Some of these you have to keep pretty cold. I mean, this one here, like high of 70, is would be pretty warm for it. So if you live in the northeast or in the north or in a cold area, and you can keep your tanks a little cooler than I can, like here in Texas in the summertime, there's no way I keep my tanks that low. I didn't realize that, and they just ended up dying away. And I was like, what's going on? So I started really digging in and realized, oh yeah, those guys need some cold water, and I don't have the cold water. So yeah, these are. So he did a really good job. I haven't watched this whole video yet, so I haven't even been all the way out to here. So man, that's cool. That's one of the ones that I was going to bid on. That species. He had it up, Alberti. Yeah, I went back too far probably. Uh, and that, oh man, that is just yeah, Alberti. Those are cool. I wanted that. I will find somebody that's selling some of those. And luckily, he lives here in the Houston area. And so I believe it's Houston he lives in. So hopefully he'll breed them, and I'll be able to pick up some fry or something off them because those are really cool. So yeah, you get the idea. Let's see what he's got here at the end. Oh man, look at that. That is cool. That is way cool. What is that? Let's see if we can just go back. Oh no. Usually I can go click on it and I can go back a couple seconds. I don't know what that is. I went back too far. Anyhow, so there it is. See, there you go. That's what that is. That is a cool looking fish. It's almost got like a line down it where it turns blue in the back. It's at the shelf. That's just stunning. Found him and subbed. Awesome. Yeah, he's a really good guy. He brought me some fish to make room for going up to Waco. I mean to the Waco, uh, and bringing back fish. He wanted some more tank space, so he just voluntarily give me some fish that he was just that I would love to have, and they've already been breeding for me and everything. That's the way it works. Kind of fish fam is really good too, but I love the fish fam, but it seems like the killifish fam is a step even above the awesome normal fish fam that people have. But I mean, it's just the killifish people are more than willing to help you out, answer questions. There's a couple forums. The Killifish Lounge is the unofficial, official web uh, Facebook group, and they have a band group too. On band group, you can buy and sell stuff on there, but on Facebook they won't let you do that on Facebook. It's not the AKA or it's not the anybody runs the group. It's Facebook. So man, that's a cool fish too. I would highly recommend if you're interested in killies or want to see some, jump on to the Killifish Lounge on Facebook or band, and you can learn a lot of stuff. And people just so easy going, man. It's just nice. The Galleria Mall still has the ice rink. Yep. The Galleria up here in Dallas has an ice rink too. Then you saw last time I went was a couple years ago. They did. That's cool. So anyhow, man, I could watch the killifish stuff all night. I could probably do it on my own time. My throat's starting to get dry. Let me get a drink here. Oh man. Oh, what time is it? No, man, I've been on a little over an hour. So very cool. So I think I'm going to jump off here unless somebody has some questions or anything like that. I enjoy doing these. Hopefully, I'll do this every Thursday night, and hopefully, I get the notifications correct next time. That sucked. I must have got the. That's weird because Facebook. I don't have to go look see what happened because Facebook. You can go early. It says you can't go more than 10 minutes late. So I bet that notification went out wrong somehow. Man. Anyhow, so I will see you guys next Thursday night, hopefully, and have a good evening.